Okay, so I had to share this because this week we ended up getting 2 rotisserie chickens that were half eaten. We have a container of pineapple that is not that fresh. We do have some fresh corn, which we're going to steam. We do have a tomato that is split. So that's really not going to go in a salad, but it can sure go in a sauce. We have leftover carrots with garlic. That was made yesterday. I think this is the only food that was actually the freshest out of everything here. And then these are beans that were actually grown by seed. So this is definitely the most freshest. Then you have carrots that were made. This is about 4 days old. This is almost turning now, but it's still good. So all these items here are going to be combined in there. And we're going to start off with the pineapples. So it's probably going to splash since I've had this for a while. And I'm going to cook the pineapples because the pineapples gets nice and burnt. And every time I cook with pineapples that are turning, it tastes like candy in food. And the reason why I'm doing this on Bronx Porch Homestead is because besides having a homestead with rabbits and hens and bees, there's also a big food component here. So I'm trying to show how not to throw away food just because it's not necessarily in a planned meal or it's not the freshest. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these chicken up, but in pieces that are and not too small. But I think something like that. I'm going to actually put that in there once this is nice and brown. Then throw the carrots. It really is the simplest meal, and that's only because it's already cooked. Everything here is already cooked. You know, a homestead for me, it's not just about the farm-like animals and taking care of them and you know, using what it is that they provide for me. But it's also about not wasting food. And being that food is such a big topic these past couple of videos, I wanted to share that just because something is going bad or turning does not mean I'm not going to use it. So in the end, if it's bad, I'm going to put it in compost if it's appropriate for the compost. But if not, I'm going to take the leftover food and try to create something new. And that's just another form of being sustainable. So I wanted to show that if I can do it, maybe you can think about your leftovers and say, hey, I don't have to throw it away. I can think about it in a different way. Now here I'm going to get a little bit creative. So I am going to do these in oil and garlic, but I'm actually going to use this grill pan. Most of the time when we think of grill pans, I know when I think of it, I always think of salmon. I always think of some kind of grilled meat on here. But you know, little grilled beans, string beans. So I'm going to take some of the oil that I have in excess in the pineapple and put that in there. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is take some of this leftover garlic that I did yesterday, and I'm going to peel it and probably use about 4 of these cloves, and I'm going to put it in here while the oil is cool so that it doesn't burn right away. Okay, so we have the garlic already getting nice and soft here at the very corner. And now, as you can see, the pineapple is turning, which is exactly what I am looking. Ah, beautiful. Okay, so I am not going to fast forward this process. I think that cooking should take time. I'm not in a hurry, and If I had other things that I have to get to, then you know what? Those other things will wait. I've learned at my age that work will always be there, housework will always be there, things to do will always be there, and it doesn't have to get done at the time that I want to get done. So right now my focus is on cooking, so I don't want to do like a fast time lapse or something. I'm enjoying it. I actually like cleaning up as an activity. I know some people don't like cleaning up as an activity. I do. I like cleaning up as an activity. So for me, it's not work. These are really nice string beans. So the string beans did not come from my garden. I did not grow good string beans this year. The pole beans just didn't make it. It was in an area where it just needed more sun. I was hoping that it would get sun once it got to a certain height, but I think the inconsistent watering and the really extreme heat we had here in New York caused the problem with the beans, among some other things. But I'm not complaining. We'll plant them for the cool crop and try again. The rest of the pieces that I'm cutting, that goes into my tumbler. Now, if I were living in an apartment, which I was living in an apartment for many years, I would put the pieces that I'm cutting into a small container, a small trash bin, and then I would bring that over to my New York City drop site, wherever the drop site is. The bin does not have to be that small. I don't know why. I had a woman the other day who I was talking to, and she said that her bin gets filled up a lot on the counter. But she eats a lot of fresh food, right? Which is super. So I'm not sure what made her decide to buy something small. You know, maybe it's because we don't realize how much waste we actually do have. You know, it's like, oh yeah, I don't do that. I don't contribute to that. Oh, I don't have too much sugar, but meanwhile you have 4 tablespoons of sugar in your coffee. I think same thing with waste. People don't realize how much waste they actually have. And then when they look at it, they go, oh, wow, that really came from me. So I have actually 2 bins. I have the small bin that I have always shown. That's this little guy, you know. And then this is a bigger bin. This is like a 13 size trash bin, and it has a lid and it has a top. So I would use this one more in the winter time because I'm not out putting it in the tumbler every day. So I have 2 bins. And if I were living in an apartment, like I said, that's what I would do. Living in a house, I can bring my food scraps outside. Okay, we are still breaking down the meat from the chicken, and I don't mind picking up a rotisserie chicken even if I don't have it planned for that night. So if I'm in a supermarket, here's the funny thing. If I'm in a supermarket and I happen to pass by the area where the rotisserie chicken is in bags already cooked that has come out and they are hot, whether it's a container or in one of those zip bags, I pick it up. Even if I'm not going to have it that night. You know why? Because it's already done. It's made. And what if something happens that evening that causes me not to make dinner? I have a backup. So I buy chicken as a backup. It never goes to waste either, because if I don't have it that night, I have it the next night. Or I use it for another meal. Okay, this is great. So now that's the rest of my bird. See that? So now I'm going to put it in together, and then tonight I'm going to put it into a pot, put it in a simmer. Well, boil it first and then put it in a simmer. I'm also going to throw the rest of these wrappings of garlic and onion that I had the other day, and these little pieces of string beans in with that broth. Okay, now the rest of that juice from the pineapple that is drinkable but it's turning is going in there. Now, this was the carrots. So the carrots and the pineapple and the chicken are going together. Now, you know that tomato that I had that is not edible for a salad because it's getting wrinkled? I'm going to cut the opening up, and that goes into the pot. Cut the seed out. It still smells good. It's just that it's turning wrinkly, you know? So that I am going to cut up in slices, and that's going into that pot as well. Check it out. So I just raised it just a bit more. So there's your medium flame. Let that get. Here is that one pot meal. So the pineapple is incorporated, the carrot is incorporated, the tomato, and these are all the pieces of chicken. So now the last, and there's olive oil in here, and there's pineapple juice in here too. The only thing left is the red tomato sauce. Okay, so I just checked my inventory of tomato sauce, and I only have one left, and it is the marinara, which is a little bit thicker. So I'm not going to put that much in it because I don't want it to be too thick. But I also want to show you this. The tomato sauce that I bought is a really good brand. I like this brand. I like the taste of it. And the second thing I like about this tomato sauce is because it's storage. All right, let's put a little bit in. And that is my one pot chicken and pineapple meal. It's gonna come a time where you're not gonna have a choice of what food to eat, but you're just gonna eat what there is. And somehow I see that coming. Well, I'm in the back while the chicken broth is cooking, and I am simmering really low the pineapple chicken. So I'm gonna go visit my girls, give them some mealworms. They've been a little bit talky the past 2 days. So I'm gonna give them some mealworms and see how things are going inside the coop. Okay, so I kind of want to show you how big the hens are getting. So we have the ladies over there that have been very vocal the past 2 or 3 days. And these guys, their crowns are coming in. They really have gotten very big. And I think it's going to come to a point now where, the bigger hens are not going to really have any choice but to accept them in. Other than that, these girls got to get a backbone and peck at the other hens when they come near you. Just wanted to show how big they are getting. Oh, we need water here. Okay, well, the girls gave me 3 eggs, and I had to actually fill up their container full of water. So it looks like the girls are down, which is rare. Sun is right behind me, so it's hard to see this. And then look at that, they're starting to eat the mealworms together. So I am adding some more pine shavings to the coop, just so that it'll absorb some of the odors. Yeah, absorb some of the odors. And so far so good. You know, even with a little bit of homesteading that is here, this little urban homestead, it's still a lot to do, at least for me. So I took care of the hens, gave them water, spent a little time with them, showed you what they look like. They were too cute. I'm gonna see if I can open the coop for these guys and see if they'll want to come out. They didn't come out the other day. Actually, you know what I should do is I want to just make sure I want to close the gate in the front and then have them start coming out again. Got a lot of clippings to do here. A lot of brown leaves got to come out. A lot of tomato plants got to come out so we can plant the next fall crops. All right, let them out. All right, guys, let's see if you guys want to come out. I don't know. I kind of feel like you do, you don't. All right, let's see. It's like they kind of knew the other day that I wanted to let them out. You see? They don't come out. Oh, wait, he's out. Okay. Maybe they do remember the pavement the other day. Maybe that's what they don't like. Pavement was so hot. Oh, there, he's out. He's out. I'm so glad to see him out. It's been 2 weeks. It's been, I think, about 2 weeks since the rabbits have been out. It's not so hot today. It's hot if you're in the sun, definitely. It's UV rays. The UV today, I think, is 8, which is pretty high. There we go. See, that's sweet. Yeah, I wanted them to run around, you know, work those little muscles. I just got to keep my eye on him because I don't want him jumping over my fence, my garden fences. But there's plenty to eat when they come out. They have like all this grass stuff here that's coming out. I don't know. Oh, you can't see. It's too dark. But you see, all this grass is coming up. They can definitely eat that for me. Over here too. Yeah, they can eat. There's Charlie. Wow, it's been a while since Charlie's out. Hey, Charlie. Hi, Charlie. Charlie. Okay, well, time to head back to the kitchen. Spend really nice time out here. Didn't do much, but just did enough. And let's go check out that chicken stock, which I uncovered. And I'm going to share what that looks like. Okay, so that's what it looks like. It really looks like good chicken soup, actually. It is really nice. And I broke everything up, cartilage, everything, so that it's all nice and broken apart. Look at it, look how thick. See that? That's not watery. Nice and cloudy looking. There's a little meat in there too. So now what I do is I take this, it's still simmering, and I just put a little bit on that spoon. That's it. That's all I do. Now I take the other, I need this guy in order to turn everything. Yeah, look at that. See, the pineapple is in there, the carrots are in there. It's been simmering for a while. It's in olive oil. It's in pineapple juices. I would take it with my finger, but I think it's a little too hot. That's the carrot. Carrot, obviously, great from yesterday. And now, rinse my fork. Now, a piece of chicken. With a little bit of the red sauce. I would put this with like brown rice. But today, I'm not going to do that because there's so much stuff in here. It can just be eaten by itself. Okay. So good. Needs a little bit of salt. But other than that, that is what you call a fresh dinner made from leftovers. To me, that's homesteading as well. Use what you got. Don't waste. As of now, guys, until the next time.